There's this one logical fallacy that the left keeps coming back to when they're trying to explain the coronavirus. And the argument is this: we are the virus. The reason that there is this coronavirus is it's the Earth's natural response to how the human beings are damaging the environment. And so the Earth is they're so put upon that the Earth is just, focused really hard and created this virus to teach us all a lesson. And isn't it important that we that we learn that lesson and we stop attacking the Earth? Spike Lee, the very overrated filmmaker, is saying this. Spike Lee just said, quote, "You know why the reason I read an article about it, how pollution is clearing up, skies are clear, animals are coming out. I mean, the Earth was angry at us. People may think I'm crazy, that I believe it in my heart and soul, that we had gone too far, and Earth said, hold up, we got to change this. We're killing this planet. And this time that everything was shut down, the Earth has come alive." Spike Lee. The actor, Idris Elba, said almost exactly the same thing.
Our world has been taking a kicking. We've damaged our world. And, it's no surprise that our world is reacting to the human race. There's no surprise that a virus has been created that is going to slow us down and ultimately make us think differently about our world and ourselves. That's for me, that's a standout thing that's very obvious, that this is almost like the world's cry out to hey, you're kicking me, and what you're doing is not good. So I'll get rid of you, as any organism would do, is try and get rid of an infection. And maybe this is it for the world. So
that's got to be it, right? It's not just Spike Lee, it's not just Idris Elba. Even Pope Francis came out and apparently said this: "There is an expression in Spanish, God always forgives, we forgive sometimes, but nature never forgives. Who now speaks of the fires in Australia or remembers that 18 months ago a boat could cross the North Pole because the glaciers had all melted? Who speaks now of the floods? I don't know if these are the revenge of nature, but they are certainly nature's responses." Now, I am going to just assume, as a Catholic, I'm just going to assume that the Pope was mistranslated. Okay, let's go with that. Is there evidence? I don't know. I'm not going to look into it. I'm just going to assume that the Pope was mistranslated. It's a good data point to have, but let's focus on Idris Elba and Spike Lee and the other people saying this. This is a very dumb point. There's actually a name for this logical fallacy. This is called the pathetic fallacy. The pathetic fallacy is when you attribute human feelings and human responses to inanimate objects. And we do this all the time, and especially the left does this all the time, because especially the secular left does this constantly. The reason they do that is because it tends to be the case that irreligious people are the most superstitious of all, so they have the crystals and stuff, and the mantras and the yoga and all that kind of stuff. But apparently, who knows what the Pope said also. It's the pathetic fallacy, and it's simply not true. The rock doesn't have feelings. The Earth is not an organism. It's a rock. It doesn't feel anything. You can take a sledgehammer, just start beating the Earth. You can take a knife at it, turn a switchblade, just stab the Earth. Take your gun out, shoot round after round into the Earth. The Earth will not hurt. Okay? It won't bleed. It won't feel bad. It's a rock. Human beings have human feelings and human thoughts and human will and human action. The reason we have a pandemic is not because the Earth is really upset that we're fracking or something, or driving SUVs. The reason we have a pandemic is because the human beings in the Chinese government covered up their local epidemic. Did it escape from a lab? Possibly. Was it just because someone ate a bad case of bat soup? Could be that too, even though that storyline is kind of falling apart right now. But let's say that's the case. This is human action that is causing it. And we all want to kumbaya and pretend that nobody's ever at fault for anything, but some people are at fault. Okay? The Chinese government is at fault. They caused this. Some people in the media, some people on the professional left, scared everybody to death based on BS. Some politicians tried to grab power. Some hypocrites wouldn't abide by their own draconian rules, but now they're trying to double down on them right now. That ain't the Earth. Those are human beings causing those problems, and we need to hold those human beings accountable. Thank you for tuning into the Daily Wire, one of the fastest growing conservative media outlets in the country. If you enjoyed this video, and really, even if you didn't, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any of our content.